I've had that happen before, where like me and Nick, actually one of the first episodes that I did, like the recording button wasn't even going. it was it was legit probably the first episode, well actually the second episode that I did that I had someone on. So I had no idea, and I still don't know what I'm doing for the most part, and I just kind of wing it. And we got probably like 50 minutes in, and I told Nick, dude, I was like, this thing wasn't even fucking recording.
Hell yeah.
it was, it wasn't even recording. So, but yeah, so episode 7 is like 2 takes. That's not the original one. So
Hell yeah.
just a little tidbit there, but yeah, man, I'm glad I got you on and everything. I know there's a couple things I want to talk to you about. First off, I mean, I'm not going to start off with this, but Aaron Rodgers, I want to talk about that. What's your opinions on that? I know you look a little frustrated with that, but yeah, man. So what's been going on with the music and everything? I listened to the ones you sent me and everything all on YouTube. So what's all going on with that?
Not really a whole lot right now. Just trying to. Once I get this computer fixed, I have a whole album in there I've been working on for probably maybe 2.5 years. I've finished it probably twice, and I'm not satisfied with it, so I'll just keep 2 songs and then start over. I've done that probably 4 times until it built up to about how I want it, and I still got to record maybe 3 or 4 songs and mix a couple. But as soon as I get it fixed, I'd say like a week's worth of work and it'd be done.
Okay. Like so when you first what made you want to start doing this? Is it something that you just always wanted to do, or was it something you just kind of like one day you just kind of clicked, like, man, I want to do this?
I mean, I don't want to be like, it's not like a cliche thing. Like, I just grew up and I was so passionate about it. Like, I
Mm.
probably, I think I started, I was 14 or 15, but it was just a thing to do. And then I stopped doing it for a while. And somebody showed me a video of somebody else rapping that we knew. I can't remember who it was, but I seen that and I seen, oh, it's got all kinds of likes. And it really, I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but it wasn't all that great.
Hmm.
I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this again. And I didn't want to. I wanted to be more creative though, like do something a little unique. And I never knew that country rap was a thing. And then I heard Upchurch, and like I like him. He's a good artist, but it's not my flavor. You know what I mean? It's more
Yeah.
like pop country rap. I don't know now. I haven't listened to him in a couple years. I know he like he. I'm pretty sure he sings now more than anything. But shit, didn't he live in Pinch?
I, s- I saw something that he did. Of course, I don't live around there that much anymore. My sister does, and I go up to Cody's house and everything. But yeah, I heard he did. Like some people, like, oh yeah, he moved, he lived there, and apparently he moved. I guess he didn't like the air. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I heard that he was.
I know it. I didn't get that collab.
Nah. so so who? Speaking of him, so who would you say is like big influences for you? Was it like him, or was it other rappers, or what is it?
Really, Ti. That's like where the biggest influence is. Like that's where I started liking more intricate stuff, like rhyming patterns, like rhyming a bunch of syllables one after another. Which
Hmm.
I would have, if I would listen to Eminem more whenever I grew up, I probably would have liked that. But it was just something about white rappers. I just thought it was corny. Like I didn't like the whole Slim Shady thing, but I still knew all his music. It was the same with like Lil Wayne. I didn't like Lil Wayne at all whenever I was growing up, but that's one of my favorite rappers now. He's probably like, I'd say he's top 5, like best of all. He's in my top 5 at least.
Okay, so man, I was thinking you were going to say Eminem. I was wrong on that.
Right?
I was wrong. Yeah. See, I mean, I love Eminem. I'm a huge Eminem fan. I don't like his new stuff. I'd probably say post recovery, I don't. I'm not. There's maybe a
Yeah,
couple good ones.
he sounds like he's trying too hard to not sound like he's trying too hard.
Yeah, I get that. See, I got that same feeling. It's like once the album that came out like 2014, 2015 range. It seemed like after that, and you had was it Kamikaze? It was 2018, and it seemed like
Yeah,
from there on, or even the album before, like it just like he sounds like he's trying to sound like something. I don't know what. And I got that same. I just can't listen to it.
Yeah,
It's hard for me to.
More of a hot. He don't have nothing to prove anymore. Now it's
No.
just like a thing to do for fun. Do you fuck with Yellow Wolf?
Man, my buddy Sean does. And I remember the first time I heard Yellow Wolf pop the trunk. Was it? Yeah.
Got an old Mossberg and a Musty Oak duffel bag.
Yeah. See, I don't mess with him too much, but I know who he is.
Like him at first, just because he was a white rapper, and then I heard it's an album called Love Story, and that's when he started. He kind of does country rap, but it's such a good blend of hip hop and whether it be country or southern rock that I just wouldn't put a name on it. It's good music, but it's about as country as hip hop can get without being, because Upchurch is just a little bit corny, just a little bit. But I mean, you got to kind of be corny to make it in that country. It's sort of like WWE, really.
Yeah, some people like his stuff. I've never personally listened to the guy, so I don't know what he sounds like or anything. I need to though. But no, I've noticed that you have to be some type of corny for people to kind of like you, I guess. I don't know, maybe for music. But no, that's pretty sweet though, man. I really liked the intro that you sent me. I'm a really big beat guy. I like a good rhythm. Man, that intro was pretty nice. I did like that.
Oh yeah, that's why like I didn't even put lyrics over it. It reminded me of like a movie trailer, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if there's a drum beat at all in it. One little spot, and then the dude talking. That's actually have you ever heard of Alan Watts?
No, I haven't.
This dude's he's dead now, but he was like, I think he might have been a college professor. I could be wrong, but he went to colleges and he gave lectures, and he's a British guy, but he spent time somewhere in Asia. And he's a Buddhist. He identifies as, he's kind of Buddhist. He's sort of Hindu. He believes, he goes by just like Eastern, what do you call it? Not mythology, but those ideals, those religious ideals. But he explains it to people over here sort of with Christian logic. Like he kind of mixes it all up.
Okay.
I'm sure I haven't done it, but I'm sure he'd sound really cool while you're tripping on LSD or mushrooms or something like that. And he just talks about the wildest shit.
Man, that would. Yeah, that's. I'm trying to think of what he might be with that Eastern something. Man. Wow, that's.
Ideology, would that be it?
Yeah, I wish I could look it up, but.
I feel like a dickhead now.
Why is that?
I know the word. I'm just not going to think about it. I'll think about it after we talk about other shit.
Yeah, if it comes to you, just be like, hey, found out what it was. We'll go back to it.
Yeah, right before I fucking go to sleep tonight. You'll have to add that in later.
Yeah. So did now I sent you that thing about the Man in the High Castle today. Did you check that out?
I'm 2 episodes in.
Oh, so you actually started watching it?
Yeah, I was. I think it was just episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I really got interested, because the guy that's he's got that truck, and what's he delivering, that reel of tape or something like that?
Yeah, he's acting like it's supposed to be coffee, but in turn he doesn't have no idea what the film's in there. He has no idea about it. I think it takes a couple episodes, but he thinks he's just delivering coffee, but he knows there's something on there due to basically he's working with the resistance in a way. So yeah, he doesn't know about the film yet, I think. But yeah, he's just delivering coffee per se. But what else did you see on there?
Well, he got pulled over by that cop that used to be in the military during the war, and then it starts raining ashes. Like, what the fuck's going on? And I kind of had a feeling, and it didn't click in my head that like the shit that was going on over in Europe that Hitler was doing is happening over here now. And he said, they just what'd they say? They burn
burn cripples on Tuesdays.
Yeah, like they burn them, the disabled and the mentally challenged. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking America then.
Yeah, man, like it that show, when I first watched it, I have not read the book. It's actually based on a book by Philip K. Dick, I believe. And when I first saw that, seeing San Francisco, as a Japanese state, and you see New York, you see all the swastikas, and you see everything, and it's really, and especially how you said with the cripples being burned, you see the ashes falling. Man, that show, there's 4 seasons to it. It's up there with one of our favorite shows of all time. It's a fucking eye opener and a half, man.
Yeah, my brother said he binge watched the shit out of it.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's a very, very good show. And it really does kind of open your eyes to like, man, what if that did happen?
Hell yeah.
And I don't know what your feelings are on it. It's hard to say what would have happened. Would it be exactly like that? I don't know. It's really hard to say. Of course, this is 1962. But another thing to really kind of look into or look at it in this way is look at a movie, or we'll say a show that was around that time, which would be maybe 11/22/63. I don't know if you've seen that on Hulu, James Franco. Look at that show. It's around the same time as Man in the High Castle, and you can see the differences in America and what it would have been, what not. You got Americana, you got, of course, you got Eisenhower, Kennedy running, this and that, Coca-Cola, Elvis. And then now, in an alternate world, you don't. And it's so crazy, man. I love it.
It still would have been a thing.
You think?
Oh yeah. You
man,
can't stop greatness, baby. These colors don't run.
I don't think so, man. I really don't. I really, really don't. The reason why I say that is, and you'll see it too later on the show, jazz music or African American music per se is a no-go. And that's a lot of early rock and roll had that feel to it, and the Nazis did not like that. And I think that's why you wouldn't have had rock and roll like you do now. Now, who's to say 50 years from then, but you wouldn't have what it is today, though. I don't see that, at least. I could be wrong, but I just don't see the music being what it is today or anything like that if the Nazis would have won.
Hell yeah. Thank God we won that motherfucker.
No shit, man.
I mean, great.
I don't think that. I've read a bunch of stuff like, man, could they have invaded the United States? But also, to that, that timeline for that movie or that show is, you need to look it up too. Not Eisenhower, but Roosevelt died in 1934, 1935 in that timeline. So Roosevelt is nowhere to be found in 1941. So the United States stays out of the war, and in turn, the war doesn't last until about 1947, and they get bombed, and the United States government fails. But
we never got no atom bombs going or nothing like that.
No. The Germans actually bombed D.C., and you'll get to see it, I think, at the beginning of season 3. You'll see the bomb get dropped on D.C. What do you think about Smith? Have you saw him yet?
I don't remember nobody's names yet.
Well, be the main Nazi guy in America.
Black hair?
Black short hair, of course.
Is he the one that was he was in the car that got shot up on the second
episode?
Yes.
Yeah. You'll end up in a sick, twisted way, man. You kind of root for the guy in a sick, way. You really do. There's parts of like, man, like you're rooting for him, but you're thinking like, dude, this dude's a fucking Nazi. Like, what are you doing? But no, man, like you see it, especially, and I'm glad you're watching. I really am, and it's got me so excited that someone to actually know about it and talk to about. But this guy, you'll see how the Nazi policies will affect him, as in you were talking about the cripples being burned and all that kind of stuff. You see it later on in the first season, and everything kind of comes full circle with that. He's got to make a decision, and it's crazy, man. It really is, and it makes you really appreciate what you got now than what could have been and everything. So I could go all day with this. I really could.
I just can't stop imagining. Okay, if that would happen. See, I'm thinking about my status if this was to happen. I'm at least I'm 50% German on one side,
Mhm.
and there's some German on the other. So do you have to be like what if, okay, if that happened, would I be going in a concentration camp, or what? How much would I have to conform to what they're doing as an American? Or
Well,
since I'm German, would they be like, okay, you're with us now?
well, just a couple questions. Your grandparents, were they Jewish or anything?
No,
No.
completely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
they're
yeah.
Christian. They started a church in my great grandma's living room way back in the day in the holler.
Okay. Yeah. It goes back, I believe, to your grandparents. All the way back. If your grandparents were Jewish, then yes, you could be put down for that. Now, another way to it is, and you'll kind of see in the Japanese state, is the Japanese look down on Japanese Americans because they look at them as, hey, you left the homeland. So when they came and, or what's the word I'm looking for? When they came and liberated the education camps, the internment camps for the Japanese Americans out west, they really didn't want anything to do with those Japanese Americans because they looked at them as, hey, you're a traitor. You left the homeland. We want nothing to do with you. We look at you as like a second-rate citizen still. So I feel like you have a better chance on the German side, possibly, as long as you didn't have any health effects. You didn't speak out against the government. Um, um, yeah, I think as long as you're not a Jew, Gypsy, African American, I mean, anything outside, if you're non-Aryan and you're no Jewish, no health problems, you'll probably be all right. But it's you never know. You really don't.
I kind of got a Jew fro whenever my hair grows, though.
Ah, well, I mean, as long as you don't have it in your background, I think you have been all right. But
Yeah.
what else? Um, man, it is a really, really, really good show, man. I cannot stop thinking about it. I might actually watch it again when I get off here. I started watching. I think I'm back on season 3 now. I didn't like season 4 though, at all. I wasn't a really big fan of season 4. I thought they could have done a better job with it. It wasn't realistic to me.
How many
What
seasons
4?
for him?
Yeah, four seasons. Um, but what else? What else was there that you would have saw in the first 2 episodes? Yeah, 'cause you got the films. So you saw her watch the films. And then Frank Frink. Did you see? Has he got arrested yet?
Yeah, there's is he the dude that had to strip naked?
Yeah, yeah. So you'll see what the Japanese. See, the Japanese were not against the Jews. They let African Americans, they let other people of color kind of wander around a little bit. They didn't really force it too much. Now you'll see. I don't want to give too much of it away, but the his sister and his niece and nephew show up. They get called by the Kempe Tai, and you'll see because where Frank is Jewish, you'll see what he does. I'm not going to really say anything else on it, but it's crazy what happens, and it's fucked beyond belief. Yeah, but no, man, it's a really good. What else did you see on there?
I
That you
really
remember?
can't remember much from the second episode, and I think that's where I think right where I quit watching was I know I seen him after I remember they said Jews don't decide if they're not Jewish or something. Like he asked the dude why he wasn't circumcised.
Oh yes, I remember that.
And then there was another guy on the other side of like a hole in the wall or something, talking to him, letting him know he was there. Shit, I don't think I can remember anything after that.
Yeah, see, yeah, so you're right around there. You'll probably see his sister come in maybe at the end of this episode or episode 3. You'll see her come in, and
Ain't all that happened.
what's that?
That's just insane. Like all that started happening in the first place. Just what did happen in history.
Oh, dude. It's and just thinking back on that, and you make a really good point that stuff would happen, and that it did happen. And imagine being an American soldier and you show up at Auschwitz or something. Not Auschwitz, but Buchenwald, any concentration camp. Any soldier that's non-German or non-Italian, any of those. And you show up at this concentration camp. You have no idea, because it's not like the Germans were broadcasting, "Hey, we got a concentration camp. We gas Jews and this and that." Imagine showing up there, and you see you see a long wall, and I think it was Buchenwald. There's a sign at the top around the gate, and it says, I don't know what the German term of it was called, but it translates to "work will set you free." And so any Jew gypsy, cripple, anyone that showed up there at that concentration camp, that's the first thing they saw was that term in German, "work will set you free." And just the thought of that going in there, but then my point with the American soldier or any soldier, period, and you show up and you walk into this concentration camp. I mean, I'm talking people stacked up 10 high. I mean, it looks like they haven't eaten in 2 years. And then it's just, you literally uncovered something that was the worst genocide in American history. I could not imagine that. I couldn't imagine what they were thinking or whatever. So, but no, it's terrible, man. Have you ever heard of Operation Paperclip?
Yeah.
You have?
Did they do a show on that?
I don't know if they did a show or not. Now, Operation Paperclip.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, Operation Paperclip. Yeah, to the concentration camp and everything. You ever heard of Wernher von Braun? Wernher von Braun. It's the German scientist. He actually, what's crazy is Operation Paperclip was after World War II, after it ended, we gathered probably anywhere between 1,000 to 1,400 or more German scientists. I'm talking these dudes were not good people. Wernher von Braun was literally good friends with Hitler.
How many?
I mean, at least about 1,400 scientists from Germany.
I didn't know it was that much. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. But you also got to look at it like this. It's either we get them or the Soviets get them. And the Soviets did get a few. Now, what he did was, with that Wernher von Braun, we don't make it to the moon in 1969. We don't. There's no way. He was really a big key into the NASA program, along with other scientists. Now, what he would do is he worked on like V2 rockets. And what he would do is, in that place, they would hang the 5 slowest Jews for everyone to see, so they know who works the slowest.
Like a pirate cove.
Kind of thing. It was just more like a dominance thing, like, hey, if you work slow, this is what happens. We're going to put your body up for display. Man, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's what really a lot of people would compare, when people compare anybody to Hitler throughout history. The only person that comes close in the 20th century on is Stalin. That's the only person close enough that could be compared to Hitler. And no politician today comes close to it. What those two guys did. And Stalin gets, I think, a good rap for it. He kind of gets off the hook a little bit, because you end up being with the Allies, even though you signed a pact with the Nazis at first, and he betrayed you, and So, but yeah, man, it's really interesting stuff. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, keep watching that show, and it will get really good. So, but switching gears a little bit, what's going on in Green Bay?
All right, I'm gonna give you a Green Bay fan's perspective.
Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers fan perspective. Because me personally, I'm loyal to people, not organizations.
Okay.
Completely 89% anti-establishment over here. But I love the way everything's so cheap on Amazon. So go Jeff Bezos. I'm more of an Elon Musk fan, though. But okay. As a Green Bay Packer fan, I'm feeling a little bit of deja vu from however many years ago when a certain Mr. Bratiti Favre decided he didn't want to retire, but I guess I'm okay with what happened because Aaron Rodgers needed to play. Because Aaron Rodgers, to me, has, as far as skill, he surpassed Brett Favre completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many Hail Marys he's thrown, but I've never seen him throw an incomplete pass on a Hail Mary. Completely insane. But okay. Which point of view is I on? A Green Bay fan? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Green Bay, they're just an old school team. Like I don't know if conservative would be the word for it, but they don't make decisions that are out of the ordinary or controversial. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't just, I don't see them firing I don't even know the GM's name. That's how much I don't care about him compared to Aaron Rodgers. I completely forgot it. What's the fucking something Murphy?
Let's see here. Let's see if it shows.
Mike Murphy. Mark Murphy. I feel bad. I'm not a Packers fan right now. But anyways, it seems like they are moving on because all right, they got Broyles. They got they got 5 quarterbacks on their roster right now, including Rodgers. And I feel like they are pushing out a Wagyu beef filet mignon for 3 fucking Burger King hamburgers. 4 Burger King hamburgers, actually.
Yeah, the GM's name is Brian Gerkernst. I might have mispronounced that. Sorry if I did.
He doesn't have a cool name. Why do we want this guy?
I mean,
I've been a Packers fan my whole life, and I don't give a shit about this GM at all. Aaron Rodgers, what are the odds you get Aaron Rodgers after Brett Favre? That never happens. And they just fuck over these quarterbacks, and I don't know if it's they're looking at the long run because they think Aaron Rodgers might be like on the downhill slope on his career, which I completely disagree with. He just had the best season of his whole life. Actually, they went 13-3 for the past 2 years. I'm almost positive that they've been in the past 2 NFC championships. And but they draft all these quarterbacks, but they kind of have to because it doesn't look like he's coming back. He completely skipped all those camps that weren't mandatory. Now he's skipping shit that is mandatory, and there's supposed to be a fine. I'm not sure what it was. I want to say like $93,000 or nothing, which isn't shit to Aaron Rodgers, but
no.
they could not fine him, and that would show him that they're willing to negotiate. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to do anything until that guy's gone because they just drafted Jordan Love. But whenever they drafted him, I don't remember if that was one of the years Brett Favre said he was going to retire, because I know he wasn't sure a couple years after the season was over, and he wouldn't announce it until like July or something like that. But they drafted Aaron. And Favre wouldn't even teach him anything about being a good quarterback. Like, he didn't mentor him at all. He said it wasn't his job. But that probably made Aaron a better quarterback. My blood's starting to boil in thinking about this whole situation. Fuck, I ran out of beer. I got to text my beer guy.
So real quick while you're doing that. So I did see something, and this is kind of odd that if this is true. Well, it's definitely true, but if Rodgers does leave and does not play another snap for Green Bay, Bart Starr played the same amount of seasons as Brett Favre. I think 16 or 17 seasons. How many seasons do you think Aaron Rodgers had? The same amount. So no Green Bay quarterback has played, I think, more than 16 or 17 seasons for the Green Bay Packers. So if he doesn't play this year, that will be 3 quarterbacks that have played the same amount of seasons for Green Bay and not win over.
Yeah, and I feel like they're cool with that.
It's like once you get to 17, fuck it, we don't want you no more, you know.
Yeah, like the organization, the old guys that are in charge, it's bullshit because they don't own the team. The city of Green Bay owns the team, or whoever the fucking, however many shareholders there are, you can buy a
Yeah.
share of Green Bay.
I did see how that was. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, and I feel like hopefully they feel like I do, and they do something to maybe vote this motherfucker out so Aaron Rodgers gets to stay. But if I'm him, like, they're kind of fucking him over. You know what I mean? He's MVP, and this dude drafted this quarterback, and maybe it was motivation to get maybe Aaron Rodgers to do a little bit better and take him to the Super Bowl, but you got motherfucking Tom Brady out here just wants to go to the Bucs, and he's Tom Brady. I don't think Tom Brady's a better football player, but here's my beer guy. I don't think Tom Brady's a better football player.
Yeah.
But he's damn sure a better leader. I think that's what he is. He makes everybody around him a better person, a better football player, he makes them winners, god dang it. Aaron Rodgers, like, I don't know what goes on in them huddles, but I think Aaron Rodgers he's the only reason Green Bay is making it this far in the playoffs in the first place. I don't know who it was that made the statement. It might have been LaFleur. He said, with or without Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay is a playoff team. Maybe it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He got injured. I don't remember what their record was. I'm just going to pretend that year didn't fucking happen at all.
I think I remember that year. I think it was.
That reminds me. I was listening to one of your podcasts, and you was talking with somebody about betting. I'm almost 100% positive I owe you $50 on some bet that had to do with the Falcons and the Packers. Maybe.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm cool with $50.
You might owe $50. Y'all didn't win that Super Bowl. Was that a bet? Did y'all play us in the playoffs that year?
To go to the Super Bowl, yeah, in the AFC Championship game.
Okay, I owe you $50.
Yeah. Oh, that was, man. Hey, even though it didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but man, and I know it's probably painful for you and every Green Bay fan that's probably gonna be watching this. Is, man, I look back. It's hard for me to watch that NFC Championship game. It really is. But
8-3.
Fuck you. Look at this guy. Get this motherfucker out of here. Man, you talk about. I remember watching that game. I'm talking about the Super Bowl. I have not watched that to this day. Any highlights of it? Nothing. Not one little thing. And I remember watching that. And it was me, Cody, KG was with us, and we were at Laura's sister's house there in South Charleston. And we're watching, man. We're all buck wild. We're wild. We're up, really big, going to the third quarter. Like I said, it was 28-3. And, man, at halftime, man, we're thinking about what we're going to buy. Like, I'm going to buy a big-ass banner. I'm going to get one of the Super Bowl 51 champions. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a jersey with the Super Bowl patch on it. I would not buy a jersey unless we won. I didn't want to look at it. I'm glad I didn't to this day. I was so close to buying a Matt Ryan jersey with the Super Bowl logo patch on it. And I was like, man, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, and life's good. And next thing you know, it just starts coming unravel. And I will say this: once the Edelman catch, the bobble, 9 times out of 10 he drops it. But
is that the one where he was like right on the ground?
Yeah, he was right on the ground and like offered, or somebody else kind of hit it. I don't know what it was, and it was legit, probably like that far from the ground. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? But no, we're still good though. We're still good. And I think we had an 8-point. Yeah, it was an 8-point lead. And
a dwindling 8-point lead.
Yeah, dwindling 8-point lead, and then we threw that pass to Julio, and he caught it like the 31 of New England's. And
Julio.
that right there, I was like, okay, that's it. All we gotta do is run the fucking ball. Run the fucking ball. Like we run the ball. We got money, Matt Bryant, ready to kick this sucker. You know what I'm saying? Get an 11-point lead, and then guess what? We got 2-possession game. I can't even remember how much time was left, but I knew if we did not do something, our defense was gassed, completely fucking gassed, completely. And you know the defense played great for the ranking the defense had. I mean, I think we were the bottom 5 of defense in the league, and we had a bunch of rookies, and you know it's probably what they did. But I knew if we did not score, they were gonna come back and tie it. Our defense could not stop a 2-year-old running through, which couldn't. You know, so and then fucking Devonta Freeman, man, missed that goddamn block. And next thing you know, man, it's just strip ball, and you know they go down and go to overtime. And I was like, yep. I was like, once they got the kick, and they got the ball to start halftime, I was like, yep.
Tom Brady.
Man, I will say this to this day, man.
Tom motherfucking Brady.
No other quarterback could have done that. No other active quarterback could have done that. I highly doubt that. I say that's
active.
No, man, we slaughtered Aaron Rodgers 2 weeks before, so I wasn't worried about that.
What
you know,
was last year?
Man, I'm talking about 2016, man.
All right, what was Matt Ryan's quarterback record?
Man, listen, Matt Ryan is not the problem. I will defend Matt Ryan. And, you know, I've had this discussion with other Falcons fans, and Matt Ryan is far from the problem with a lot of it. You know, first off, the defense can't stop a shit. You know, 2017 we had a really good defense, but the offense where Kyle Shanahan left, you know, but I mean Matt's had I don't know how many damn offensive coordinators. I mean, if you put this son of a bitch in a system that, I mean, a consistent,
like keeps people for a long time.
Yeah, you know, look at I mean
that's how Green Bay is. The staff, they keep people for a long time. That's what I was getting to earlier. The Green Bay, the people that work for Green Bay that aren't football players, especially the higher ups, they're just in it for the money. I feel like.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers, if they hold out and just he retires and maybe does fucking Jeopardy or something like that. I don't know how much money is guaranteed to him, but I know they get some of that back. And then they can take that money and try to rebuild or what the fuck ever to do good after Rodgers is gone. But who gets that lucky to get Favre and Rodgers and then another good quarterback back to back?
I mean, hell, you've had 3 really great quarterbacks in your franchise history.
Yeah.
I mean, Bart Starr. I mean, that's legit. Let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Hall of Fame. So you have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks that you've had, you know, but no, man.
How do you feel that y'all missed out on the chance that y'all traded Brett Favre?
Man, to that point, man, you never would have known if Brett Favre would have done anything in Atlanta. Because at the time, the ownership for Atlanta was dog shit. You know, and him leaving and going to Green Bay was probably the best thing that ever happened to him. I don't, regardless, now maybe 10 years later he might have succeeded with the ownership there. Arthur Blank wasn't even there at the time. You know, and Jerry Glanville was there as the head coach. You know, he had that one really good season in, I think, 91. We had, like, Dion, went to the playoffs, this and that. But no, man, outside of that, dude, the Falcons, they're toilet bowl for a long time, man. I mean, but no, man, I don't think he would succeed as good as he did in Green Bay. Green Bay was just the perfect place for him. And I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of players is the system that you fall into.
Yeah, the coach, shit like that.
Yeah, coach, everything does, man. Look at a guy. I'm not saying this dude would have been great or anything. In a prime person, I look at it as like a Tavon. Okay? If Tavon goes somewhere, and timing too. Timing's everything. You know, Tavon goes to St. Louis, they don't use him correctly. You know, go to Kansas City, look at Kansas City. You know, you never know. But yeah, man, it's all about where you land and the system, and it's the right fit. But hey, it would have been nice to see Brett Favre in Atlanta. I love Brett Favre back in the day. I've always liked Brett Favre.
I have Superman back in the day.
I mean, hey, man, I used to have in midget league. I wore number 4 for Brett Favre.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, man, I love Brett Favre. I was no Green Bay Packers fan, but I always respected Brett Favre. I liked him. You know, he's a gunslinger, man. It's
Who'd
just,
you play for?
man, I played for Elk District.
Elk District. See,
Yeah, man.
Midwestern. I never played y'all.
Yeah, man, I was on my ass like legit, dude. The offensive line was horrible. We ran out of shotgun. Tell me what fucking midget league team in 2002 runs out of shotgun? None.
What grade? 2002.
I was 5th grade, so it would have been B team. Tell me what B team in the early 2000s ran out of shotgun? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Midwestern Big Blues.
Hey, man, listen.
Listen here, baby. Listen.
We had to run out shotgun. We had to fucking run out shotgun. If not, I'm on my ass as soon as I hike the ball.
I never got the ball because I was fucking. I don't know how tall I was back then, but I was Midwestern, and I don't think I played until A team. And
Yeah.
a lot of the best players on my team was like kids from Stonewall that didn't decide to go on and play middle school ball yet, so they kept playing until they weren't allowed to in midget league, and we fucking dominated, dude. My cousin JC, he the weight limit was 155, and he was constantly like 148, 149 throughout the whole season. And this motherfucker would just drag the whole defense to the end zone. I don't think we got scored on until maybe the 3rd round in the playoffs.
Wow.
Something like that. It was cool. I got
Man,
a huge trophy for winning the
Super
Kimball
Bowl.
Valley Midget Football League Super Bowl. KC Colts 28-8, something like that. I think I got to play maybe fucking 5 downs or something like that.
Yeah, but hey, man, you put in for it. You know, you got 5 downs then. Hey,
that's a hell of a team to practice with. You got all them fucking huge motherfuckers coming at you because I was on 2nd string offense, and they would practice us against the 1st string. Or no, I was 2nd string defense, and they practice us against the 1st string offense because our 2nd string defense kind of equaled the rest of the league's 1st string defense because we had that much big motherfuckers. We just dominated. It kind of wasn't fair at all to the other team.
Man, I see. My midget league, I played 2 years, so I played both years in B team, 4th and 5th grade. And the first year, you know, I did like safety and a couple other things. So, but man, I remember the kickoff classic would have been. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it was at LV Middle School, and I remember we were playing South Hills in the. Yeah, it would have been South Hills. I think it was like 4th, maybe. I can't remember which one of the 2 years. And this dude from South Hills, I mean, this dude could hit. This dude's running right down the sideline towards the scoreboard, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this motherfucker. And I'm probably 70 pounds soaking wet. Like, I'm not a big guy, you know. And back then, they didn't care about helmet to helmet hits like they do now. Like, this probably would have been this would have been flagged for a 25-yard fucking penalty. Like, yo, send this motherfucker back to the 5-yard line. Like, no. So I'm running out. I'm like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. And then, dude, he just lowers his head, bro, helmet to helmet, straight up. And I fall back probably about 5 yards. And I'm sitting there, like, what? I probably was out for maybe a good 5-10 seconds. Didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Did everybody stop and get her underneath?
No, hell no, dude. I got up after about 5 minutes.
It's
kept it going.
Yeah.
But no, man, listen, this is legit stuff right here, okay? So, 5th grade, I had to play quarterback, right? Didn't want to do it. Like I said, man, I was short kid, 70 pounds soaking wet, and I got a picture of it. I'll even post it and everything. But man, I would drop back, and legit within 2 seconds, somebody was in my face. I mean, I mean, it's my dad would always say, "He's like, well, hunt down." But
Hey, as
damn,
long as
like,
you
I mean, dude, I got hit, man. By the time I got home in the evenings, I felt like an NFL player getting smacked around, bro. I'm talking, dude. I would get hit from both. I get pancaked. The ball would go over my head on a snap, and that's when, dude, that's when you know, like you're like, fuck. Well, this sucks. Like something's about to happen. It's either I can pick this up, but if I don't pick it up and I fumble it again, we're housed because I know no one. I know no one behind me is going to be able to grab him. And oh man, I saw that ball go over the head. I was like, fuck. I was like, I want to go home. Like, but no, man, it was fun though. I look back on it, it was fun, but damn, man, it was good life lessons. I'm cool with it.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the game too much, but like football practice, just the atmosphere, the smell of everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the greatest childhood memories that I can remember. Just out there on Bigley Field playing on the little baseball field. And what I remember the most, we didn't have the you know how they have the Gatorade bottles full of water at the games?
Yeah.
We didn't drink those at practice. We had a little, it was just a thing full of PVC pipe. It was just a long fucking PVC pipe with a bunch of little ones coming out like this, just at an angle, and they'd stick that through the fence, and we'd fill our helmets up with it and just throw it over our heads. And that's the best feeling I can remember from football season, just being hot as fuck from getting my ass knocked out over and over and over and over from these big motherfuckers on the offensive line while my little ass is playing like linebacker, defensive back, or something like that. And then I'd just take that helmet and I'd put my finger on the hole in the bottom of the helmet, just fill that motherfucker up, throw it over my head, and I'm soaking wet now. And then I'm ready to go get my ass knocked out another 20 more times. Hell yeah.
Man, because we play at LV Middle School. Now, did you ever? And I don't know if you've ever seen these or not. And I think I've talked about this on this show before. Did you ever get to see DJ Taylor play? Not just in high school. I'm talking middle school.
Not in middle school.
Man, if he, I don't know, but go on YouTube. And you could go and type in like DJ Taylor, LV Middle School, 8th grade. Man, I'm talking what he does in that video. And I got to see this in person.
Is it a compilation of a bunch of shit?
Yeah, man. I'm talking nothing but touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
nothing but touchdowns. Nothing but touchdowns, dude. I mean, I'm talking this is against Stonewall. This is against Horace Mann, South Charleston, John Adams. This isn't just against, Elk River competition. I'm talking this is against like, AAA competition, man. What's that?
Actual the people that they play ball and that's what they do all day.
Yeah, man.
Like the other big schools in that division.
Yeah, man. Every time this dude would touch the ball, it's house. I mean, he scored every single way you could have. Punt return, kick return, interception, screens, halfback tosses. I mean, I think the only thing he didn't do was throw one. That's the only thing he didn't do.
How did he not end up playing? Do you know what West Virginia Lightning is or was? I don't know if it's still a team anymore. One of my buddies played for it.
I know. I used to one of I think it was Lori's ex-brother-in-law used to play for the Lightning. Yeah, man. I went to me and Cody actually went to a game a couple years ago, and it's down like East Bank or something like that.
Yeah, I feel bad because one of my roommates back in the day, he played for him. I never went to one game, but they used to always do I know they went to actually, I have a couple friends over there. Do you know who, have you ever heard of the artist?
Mm-mm.
He was a running back or maybe a receiver. Yeah, perfect dreads. Lil Wayne's dreads ain't got shit on this dude's dreads at all.
Mm-mm. No.
Receiver, I've never been to one game, but I think it's West Virginia Storm now.
I know you have. I think there's two of them now. I think the Lightning are still around.
Are they?
But I think there's another one. And there was like a West Virginia Knights or something.
Yeah, I think were they purple and black and white, something like that?
I think this team what I was thinking of is red and black. It was just a standard, like, I don't know, red and black for Knights and everything.
Red and black in West Virginia. That's weird. Dang gold.
Yeah. What I don't understand is with these semi-pro teams, and you could probably say the Power and the Black Bears up in, the semi-pro baseball teams. You already have a team called West Virginia. Why are you going to have another one?
I heard West Virginia Power wasn't a team for a while, and now they're I don't know if that was true, but I seen a post a couple weeks ago that it was a survey if they should change their names.
Mm.
And Alley Cats was on the thing. I
saw
definitely
that.
got on the survey, and I voted to make it the Charleston Alley Cats again because I
That's-
feel like the dopest name ever. I've been looking for a Charleston Alley Cats hat forever, dude.
Man, I did the same thing. It's Alley Cats, we riot. I think honestly, if they're going to change it, it's probably going to be the Charlies. Honestly,
I'd be cool with that.
I would too, man. And it's got a better ring to it, Charleston Charlies, and it kind of goes in with the name a little bit. But I'm biased towards the Alley Cats.
I don't know. People should go down in the comment section and comment if they think it should be Charleston Charlies, or the Charleston Alley Cats. Come on, that sounds cool as fuck, bro.
Man, actually, my uncle actually helped design that logo when they first came in. Yeah, man, he was part of the ownership group. Yeah, man. They used to yeah, dude, we used to go to games a lot. Of course, back at the old Walt Powell and everything, man. That place is sweet. I liked it. Always you wanted to leave there with a foul ball. Back in the right field corner, the concessions and everything, and all the kids would hang out back there in the grass area, man. We just wait for a foul ball to come out there. And, that was fun. I love that. Love going there.
I wish I remember better. The only memory I have is being up in I don't know, would you call it the nosebleeds, the real tall, up way high.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember looking down, and it was really fucking steep. I had fun, though, like that. I feel like it probably, I was little, so that's why it felt bigger than Power Park does now. I just think Power Park just, I don't want to say it's boring, but a little bit boring.
Well, have you been to the one in Morgantown yet?
No.
You haven't? Man, Power Park, it's not a bad stadium. I wouldn't call it boring, but I see where you're coming with. And when it first came out, it's still a really nice stadium. It really is. Yeah. Now the only thing it's very all that. Yeah, the only thing I don't really like about it, and it's really just a bitching complaint. Like it's nothing really like. I wish they would do more like an upper deck type thing. Exactly. Instead of just having one single row going across, and it still looks cool. Don't get me wrong, but maybe some seats out in the outfield, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's boring. Exactly.
Yeah, but hopefully they do change it. I mean, they need to. I've always hated the Power name. I thought it's trash.
Kind of a weird name.
It's like Power, right?
Yeah, West Virginia Power.
Right.
It sounds like an arena football league name.
It does. And do you remember when they first came out? They had like 5 mascots.
Yeah. Do they not have that no more?
No, man. I think they just have one now. It's that stupid Pittsburgh Pirate looking thing. I don't know why. It's what they used to have it.
Is that
No, it used to be. Now they're not owned by any major league team anymore. Is the thing. It's like a different type of league that they're in. It's got a bunch of dudes that, have played AAA, have maybe possibly played major leagues, and they're trying to get back into the major league system. So it's still professional players in a way, but it's not owned by a particular team. So any team, I guess, if some dude came in and started banging 25 homers, in 5 days, so a major league team could come in and scoop him, I think, with no issue.
So that's probably, is that better for them to be that way, or?
You get better. I think they have better talent now than what they would have in a normal year. I mean, they've had there's been a few hidden gems that will come through Charleston, like Ryan Braun, MVP. There's a dude that played for Seattle because they were owned by Seattle for a year or two. He had just made up. He's a young dude. I can't remember his name. And there's been a few different players, but not a lot come out of low single A. The chance of getting from low single A to the majors is not very good, unless you're drafted high and you make a pit stop through here for a couple months. That's really the long. I mean, if you stay here longer than probably 3-4 months, you're probably the chances of you make it to the majors is very slim. It's not impossible, but it's very slim. Baseball is, in my opinion, is probably the hardest sport to make it pro in. It's just because there's such a grueling, man. You got to start. Used to be rookie league and low single A, double A, triple A. You get hurt. It's just. I mean, look at all the people that have been drafted in the first round and not made it to the majors. First overall picks never sniffed the major leagues. You look at any other first round pick in the NBA or NFL. Maybe hockey would be another one that's kind of like MLB, but look at those sports, man. There is number one overall pick. They're guaranteed to play.
Yeah.
But Major League Baseball is a little different. Hockey's a little different too, but yeah.
How do you feel about them saying that baseball is America's sport?
Is it an American sport?
I mean, it's an American sport, but America's sport, like.
You can say that. I mean, of course, football, like American football is an American sport. That's definitely an American sport.
I feel like that's the American sport.
Well, I mean, baseball is America's pastime. Now, if you would go back 50 years, baseball, you'd probably be a huge baseball fan.
Yeah.
More than likely. I'm not saying guaranteed, but the chances more dominantly now is NFL or college football. Out of dudes in our age group in the 20s, more than likely you're probably watching football or basketball. That's probably the two sports you're going to be watching. I mean, you could say it's in America's pastime now. If you're looking at America's sport, it's football right now.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, just college football alone, you could say that.
Yeah.
I mean,
even more so.
Well, I would still say the NFL is probably more popular. Just because the reason why I say that is college football is extremely popular in the South. Extremely popular. If you go up to Maine, no one gives a shit about football. Now they give a shit about the NFL. You go to Massachusetts. You ask somebody in Massachusetts, hey man, you like college football? Nah, man.
Oh, bro, I'm in Florida. I remember when I first came back here as I think I was 14. It was in the middle of 7th or 8th grade. Yeah. That was right when the Gators was in the middle. They had Tim Tebow still. They was going really far every single fucking time. And when I lived in West Virginia before that, I wasn't much of a Mountaineer fan. I liked Florida more just because I was born here. And then I moved down here, and I guess that's where I discovered I don't liking the same shit everybody else around me likes, and everybody loved the fucking Gators, and I felt corny as fuck just agreeing with everybody else, and somehow that sparked a little bit of, I don't want to say hate, but I just didn't like Tim Tebow for the longest time just because of that. But everyone here fucking loves Tim Tebow. They love the Florida Gators. And I'm pretty sure back then, whenever West Virginia was the number 2 party high school, or not high school, but college of all time, number 1 was?
Florida.
Florida Gators, baby.
Man.
That's where my Virginia pride came from, was just showing these motherfuckers like, hey, not everybody loves the fucking Gators. You know what I'm saying?
What about like Florida State? Like, what about how they do down there? I mean, I'm probably say Florida probably more, but.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, Florida State had what's his name, Chris Sims, that quarterback. That was a long time ago. But for the most part, there's definitely more Gator fans here than anybody. And I almost guarantee it's because their colors are cooler.
I think that garnet and gold looks better than that blue and orange, whatever.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Redskin? I'm sorry, the
Seminole
Washington football team.
Oh, the Washington football team. I didn't think they should change their name, but hey, I actually kind of like that logo they have now. The Washington football team. I kind of like it. When I first saw it, I thought it looked like shit. But the more I would look at it, I'm like, man, it's kind of nice. I don't know.
What does it look like? It's the W, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like it's got like W. Let's see, Washington. There we go. I wish I could pull it up here and you could see it. Maybe one day.
One day.
One day.
Are you monetized yet?
Nah, man, not yet. I like to be.
Have you looked into how to do that and all that?
For YouTube, yeah, I have. Yeah, you have to have like a certain amount of subscribers and video watched hours. It's like 2 different bars you have to get up before. So basically, mine's already sent in. So once I get that mark, then it'll be automatically sent to them, and they have to approve it. That's just for YouTube.
Like, do you release the podcast on Spotify and all that?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, everywhere.
Okay, so you get some kind of royalties from all that, though, right?
I haven't got anything that I know of. Now, yeah, that I know of. Now, kind of intrigued me here. So
okay, well, I don't know if I should talk about this on here. If I should
we'll talk about it. We'll go.
Talk about it later.
Before, don't hang up when we get done here. We'll go over that. But no, dude, that the logo itself. I don't know if you can see it. My phone's kind of cracked.
Oh, that's lame. Come on.
No, man. Listen. For something that they kind of came with on a dime, I don't know. I like it. Now, would I want that as my logo for the rest of my life? No.
Somebody could have spent at least 45 minutes on Photoshop and with something other.
Hey, listen. I mean, I kind of like it. I don't know. Now, maybe if you're like a Redskins fan or Washington fan, whatever they are now, maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Florida State is an off-brand Redskins, but they're not the Redskins anymore. So now the Washington football team is almost like an off-brand Florida State Seminoles.
I wouldn't compare the two. I really wouldn't.
Just as far as the aesthetic.
Yeah.
That's it though.
Yeah.
I don't know how Florida State's done. I haven't watched college football in probably 4 years.
Well, I mean, I would say also too, what about Florida, and of course you have Florida State. Now Miami's probably Miami area a lot. Probably South Florida more likely than anything.
Yeah.
South of I-4 more likely.
Yeah.
Or the state of Miami, whatever they call it. Was there something I was going to ask you? I just totally just drew a damn blank. I hate when I do that. It's so good. Man, but anyways, man, I'm fucking drawing a goddamn blank.
Hey.
Man, I had a question, dude, and it was about Florida. Yes, that's what it was. Do you ever see any crazy shit down there? Like just people doing some dumbass shit like that, what was the one? I saw a video somewhere, some guy in Florida, I guess road rage, fucking like pulled a gun out or like something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but do you ever see anything like that?
All right, I was my brother was watching. He was going through videos on Facebook or something like that, or maybe it was YouTube. But he seen something that happened in Daytona Beach on Main Street, and there's this place called Sunsplash Park. And no, it wasn't Sunsplash Park. It was something else kind of like this, but it's a beach access place where you can park there, and then there's little like there's fountains that come up out of the concrete for kids to play in and stuff like that. There's a bathroom and place where you can change. There's these 2 females. I don't know if they were bums or not. Usually when this crazy shit happens, it's bums. But all right. You have the concrete. All right, here's the concrete.
Okay.
There's just little holes in the ground in random places where water just shoots out like a jet. It's like a bathtub faucet, but upside down. It shoots up about, I don't know, maybe 15 feet or something like that. there's a hole right here and a hole right here. There's one lady right here. She just has a shirt on and a pair of panties, and she's washing her hair in this jet of water. This lady right here is completely fucking naked, bro.
What?
Just right over top of this jet of water, just fucking getting it in. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wait, so she's so hold up. So she's butt ass naked. No clothes. And she's sitting there trying to wash her fucking hair out of like a little jet sprinkler.
Yeah, like she just over it, washing her hair or something.
Nonchalant. Just nonchalant.
A shirt, and maybe she had like a thong on or something like that. The video was kind of far away. There's kids walking by and shit, families. It's Daytona Beach, right on fucking Main Street where the pier is at the end of the street. And then the lady next to her is just fucking riding this stream of water, getting it in.
Man, I'd be afraid to go to Walmart if I lived down there.
Dude, it's okay. About a month ago, I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about a couple. They were in their late 30s or early 40s, and I want to say they're in the slide of some fucking water park, and this dude is. This lady is serving this other fellow breakfast while she's naked with her legs open in the middle of a fucking water slide, and they get caught with the cops. Damn, I wish I could remember what the fuck they said about these people, because whenever they caught them and they got their statements, whatever they said was funny as fuck, bro. He said something about an all-you-can-eat morning buffet or something like that, and I lost my shit in the car listening to it.
I know what he meant.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I bet was she nasty? Is she nasty?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I almost guarantee they was in their late 30s or 40s, and they're just in the middle of a fucking water park. Like, what regular people do that? They had to be bums. I feel shitty for saying that, for assuming they had to be bums. I know how the homeless problem is here. It's probably not as bad as it is in LA, but almost every weird or scary experience I can think of in Daytona Beach that's happened in my life, it had to do with a bum somewhere.
So that's where you're living at. You live in Daytona Beach.
I'm about 20 miles, I'm about 20 miles west in D-Land.
Okay.
It's right by it.
Yeah, Cody has said something, you live around there, so I remember that now. Man, I bet you do see some crazy shit out there. Because I feel like Florida gets because everyone loves the sunshine. That's what Florida does. They sell the sunshine.
Oh yeah.
Florida does not, outside of orange juice. I mean, what do they really have to sell? I mean, the beach.
Cocaine, baby.
I mean, the beach and warm weather, man. That's what you sell. A lot of retirees. You get probably every person from every state lives in Florida. Yeah. In a good majority percentage. West Virginia maybe have like a couple of Californians. What's that?
There's a lot of people from West Virginia here too, specifically Volusia County where I live.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
I'll make sure that I rep while I'm out.
Well.
I'll make people like it. And if you're an ass at a bar, if you're from West Virginia, and there's another person from West Virginia that's well behaved in the bar, they'll take up for you.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, that's nice. That's nice.
That's just a theory. I haven't tested it yet.
Well, if you test it, let me know.
Oh yeah.
How it goes. But no, man, I feel like everyone loves warm weather. So it's like, let's move to Florida. Okay. And then there's just, what I always say is there's 10% of everyone in the United States or in the world are just shitty people. 10%. So 1 out of 10 people are just shitty people, regardless. And, they move down there, they have sex on playgrounds and fucking wash their hair and fucking jets and shit, whatever it is. And
oh yeah.
There's probably some other. There was one about bath salts. Some dude was on bath salts, like in Miami or something a couple years ago. It's back like probably 2015 maybe.
Yeah, the guy that was eating the other dude's face off.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh shit, zombies."
Like that crazy. But like, you definitely, while you're sitting at a red light somewhere, especially if you're in a well-populated area, there's at least a 30% chance there's going to be some weird motherfucker waiting to cross the street that's talking to themselves or something like that. That's like a pretty big solid memory at one of the first bike weeks I can remember coming to. I was probably maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And, we're about 3 cars back from a red light on Beachside, and there's a guy with a bigger afro than I can grow. And this guy's just walking across the road, cussing out to the middle of the air. And I remember I'm probably 8 years old. I'm sitting in the back seat thinking, like, what if he walks up to our car? What if he bangs on the window? What if he asks for a bunch of money? What if this motherfucker has a gun? And I was fucking terrified.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I mean, Western...
too, though. There's ones that'll walk up to you. They'll start singing to you and shit like that. They might ask you for a cigarette, but I mean, at least 80% of them are harmless. They're just trying to have a good time.
Yeah. Man, I wouldn't be opposed to going down there. I've thought about it, honestly. I really have. If I'm able to do that, I've been saving up and everything, see what happens, but we'll see.
I mean, them hotels are pretty cheap right now. They're not as cheap as they was like 6 months ago in the fucking very middle of the pandemic, but it's more affordable than it usually is. I mean, it's paradise, bro. Like, it rains maybe every other day for like an hour. You barely notice it. Other than that, it's hot. It has been hot as fuck down here. Hotter than I can remember it ever being anytime I've lived down here. I walk outside and smoke, and then I'm sweating my ass off within like 3 minutes, and I got to come back in.
Well, see, you got it down there. I mean, it's humid here, but man, I have family that lives in Hilton Head, South Carolina, so it's really humid down there. And then whenever you for some reason, when you go south, once you hit 95 on 26, it's like a completely different humidity. And as far as you go down 95, it's just humid, like an armpit. And it's just, you walk outside, you could take a shower, and you walk right outside, and you feel disgusting. And
so you take a trip plenty of times, right?
What's that?
Like the 77, 26, 95.
Yeah, that's the way I would take. Now, sometimes I would. After so long, I have to get off the interstate. I have to. There's something about it. It's just constant, same thing. You see the same thing, and I will get off the interstate and take off like back roads. I did it last time I went down that way. I got off there. I think there was a wreck on 26, so I went around it, and then I went on down through I think Orangeburg and stuff like that, which is pretty nice. Now I will say this though, the roads here are way more fun to drive on than down there. You know, South Carolina per se, because it's just straight. You know what I'm saying? It's just flat trees. Here, I mean, at least you got something to kind of keep you, keep you entertained.
Just
keeps you awake.
Fucking line all the time. That's the fastest thing that'll put you to sleep.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that was. I'd like to eventually. We're gonna try to go down there. Actually, I don't know when, but we're gonna try to go down there. If it, money wise and everything. But
what part?
I'm thinking like Tampa area. Yeah, something around in there, like St. Pete. Fuck Clearwater. It's too many. I heard it's a lot of money. It's more of a touristy place. I don't know, Richie Rich. I don't know, but no, man. I liked what was the town there? Bradenton, like Fort Myers, stuff like that, around in that little area. Yeah. But most of the Tampa area is pretty nice. What was that?
You ever heard of Ross Creations?
No, I have not. What's that?
For this dude, he's from Bradenton or the Sarasota area or somewhere around there. He's a YouTuber, and this dude just pranks people. It is the most hilarious shit. Like, he filled his gas tank up with SpaghettiOs and took it to a mechanic to see what was wrong with it. And he filled his computer up with beans and said that it was freezing and had a fucking somebody from Geek Squad come over to fix it. Just dumb shit like that. about 10 years ago. He did a bunch of videos where he dresses up as this pirate, and he just all right. There's a parade somewhere in Florida, and he tried to hop up on the float and commandeer it like Jack Sparrow would. A whole bunch of shit like that. He does a backflip off of a fucking cop car. This guy does a bunch of parkour and shit like that. It's hilarious. I'll send you a link to it, but he's from down there.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think I've been to the Gulf one time in my life yet. So I don't even know what that water's like.
See, I've never been to the Gulf either. That's one thing I've never seen the Gulf of Mexico. Never. I've always went to the Atlantic side. I've been to Daytona a couple times. But a little bit farther south, of course, I've been to Orlando. But that's really the farthest south of Florida that I've been. But I've always wanted to see the Gulf. I always heard it's really nice.
That's as far as I've been. Is Orlando. I've been to Disney World probably like 4 times whenever I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Really remember it much. Honestly, I feel like whenever you go to Universal, you get a free ticket to Islands of Adventures or something like that. That was honestly more fun for me. They had more roller coasters, I feel like. But now Disney World they own fucking Marvel, so they have all the Spider-Man shit and all the Avengers rides and shit like that. Harry Potter.
You get a nice little discount though to go to Disney World.
Oh yeah, I don't, because I still got a West Virginia ID.
Man, I'd be switching that sucker out.
See, that's the thing. I thought about that, and I was wondering, okay, would I rather get pulled over in Florida with a West Virginia ID, or would I rather get pulled over in West Virginia with a Florida ID?
You got a good point there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you live there.
Just looking at, like, I fit the description. I got tattoos all over me, and I get pulled over there. I'm not in a car that's in my name. I'm in somebody else's car that I'm borrowing, and they see I'm from Florida. I just look like a dope boy.
Yeah. That is smart, though. I mean, cops, that would be a red flag, though. It's like, oh, look at this Florida tag. But man, the discounts, though. I mean.
Oh, yeah. That's why I just had my brother do it.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess as long as you have someone that lives there, I guess. So how often do you come back up to West Virginia?
I've been here. I came down in either September. I think it was the beginning of September, maybe the end of August, and I came maybe a month later for a week. 4 months later, I'm gonna try to come back sometime soon.
Okay.
It's hard to stay away from old Mountain Mama. You know what I mean?
Well, there's something about this place that, like, if you stay around too long, what's that Tyler Childers song? Something about them hills, or he said something. What did you say? Something about them hills made me go crazy, or something. I don't know what it was.
I'm always fucked up every time I listen to him, so I don't remember any of the lyrics.
Man, I gotta figure. Hold on. I gotta see that because
that dude right there. Is it Childers or Chowders? How do you say it?
I saw it Childers. Tyler Childers, I think.
See, that's what I thought. I've just heard other people say Chowders.
I would say maybe Chowders. I would say
Childers sounds cooler.
Yeah. So essentially, in the lyrics, he says, "All I know is that when I'm good and sober, I'm leaving West Virginia for a while. Don't know why, but every time I cross that river, Lord, there's something that tears me up, makes me wild."
Elk River, baby.
I mean, that is true, man. I was talking to a buddy of mine about that. I'm thinking, like, dude, something about this place, like, it's just
magical.
I don't know what it is. I don't, and I could leave here and never think about anything else. But man, when I come back here, it's like, okay, you know. But there's just something about it. That line has stuck with me for so long because I'm like, man, it's true. If you live here and you know, I mean, but man, it's a good song, man. It's talking about the girl messed up on coke and shit. But yeah, man, whenever you come back in, we'll have to get together and everything. And I think we've been going for about an hour and 20-something minutes, something like that. That's pretty.
I'm having an Alex Jones moment. This is going to be your longest podcast ever.
Man, the longest I've had. What is the longest? I would say about an hour and 30, maybe. I think.
We got that. I'm going to have a Takashi moment, too. This is going to be your most viewed podcast ever.
What are we at? An hour and 20. So we're an hour and 20 right as of right now. And the longest one. Let me see here. Of course, it isn't going to show me. Let's try this. My phone's
Is that a hockey game I'm seeing to your left, to your right?
It's a panorama of T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. Yeah, I'm a big Golden Knights fan.
What's above that?
It's the old Georgia Dome. It's the last regular season game in 2016 against New Orleans. It was supposed to be the last home game, but your Packers took that honor when we spanked it on the way out. But yeah, and then got the greatest rock band behind me, Pink Floyd.
That?
Pink Floyd. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan.
Greatest metal band.
Metal. There's so many subgenres, man. So many subgenres.
Right answer.
I'm gonna take a guess and say that. What do you say, Black Sabbath? Is that your answer?
I would say that's a very, very close number 2 because they influenced the best one ever.
Mm-hmm. Who?
I'm just seriously biased, way completely biased.
Who is it? Who is your top 3? Like, I'm talking rock in general. So it could be metal, it could be rock. If you're top 3, or if you have top 5, whichever one. I'll give you. Yeah, I'll even give you mine. I'll match you.
Number 1 is definitely like Metallica.
Oh, Metallica.
Have you Metallica show, bro?
No, I have not, man. I have not had the chance to, and I really want to. I feel like they'd really come out and play. Is that so?
Go ahead.
So who's after Metallica? If you had
for metal,
or just any rock.
Are we my top 5 or
yeah, your top 5.
Your top 5 are.
Your
top 5 would be different. Who I think the greatest top 5 are.
In your opinion, this is all based off. Yeah, all of your opinion. So that has nothing to do with accolades or anything like that. It's all your opinion.
Metallica, Pantera. This one isn't metal. I just recently started getting into Nirvana.
Okay.
I've always definitely had a deep respect for Kurt Cobain, but I just never really listened to the music. But I really got into Nirvana a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
For Disturbed, probably. They had a lot of shit I listened to. I get mainly my metal influence is definitely from my dad. He listens to a lot of metal. 5. See, that one I feel like 5 would be more of a tie between like Black Sabbath or Ozzy as a solo artist.
Okay.
Which, I mean, he had a great career with Black Sabbath, but then he came out with Crazy Train. And you think about it, like, every baseball game since Crazy Train has came out, or whatever year they started playing Crazy Train, they have played Crazy Train and Enter Sandman at every fucking baseball game I've ever been to.
Yeah. See, I would even say that I feel like he's way more well known than he was with Black Sabbath. If you ask a random Joe off the street, like you just made a really good point that any baseball game you go to or any sporting event, you're more than likely to hear some type of Ozzy song somewhere.
Definitely.
Now you're not going to hear a Black Sabbath song,
No.
you know, I mean, maybe NIB, maybe or something. I don't know what, but yeah, that's a pretty good top five. Now, I mean, mine, I got to go Pink Floyd 1, Led Zeppelin 2. Mm, and that's really where it starts. Now,
I just
Black Sabbath. I
bro.
gotta put Sabbath up there just for the influential part of it, and I've really started getting more into their music lately. That's definitely that's the top three right there. And I would have to also say, man, I mean, Rush is up there. I don't know if I put them on top five
Man,
though.
Rush is the shit. I
I,
didn't like it until I started watching Trailer Park Boys, but
mhm.
once I got into them, like Rush is the Canadian Metallica, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would even put Metallica in there. Metallica would be in the top. I'd probably put them at 4. Um, and I'm going to throw one out there. I know, of course, they're nowhere even close. I'd probably put Motley Crue. I mean, it just based off the decadence, the debauchery. I mean, the music. I mean, I liked it. I liked them all, man. I even like their '90s shit. Like, I don't like that John Corabi shit, but that
I didn't
Generation Swine.
they do have some. They got really catchy songs.
Yes, they. Um, did you watch the Dirt movie? By
Oh yeah, I
chance?
loved it. That Ozzy Osbourne scene, that was the shit, dude.
Oh, I read the book too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I read the book too, and I've actually read Nikki Sixx Heroin Diaries as well.
Was the book better than the movie?
Man, the book, of course. I mean, I love a good movie, but the book is so it's way longer. I mean, they could have literally made probably a 5-hour movie if they really wanted to. And they could have.
They should do shit like that.
They should have. I
Everybody
really
says
don't know
the book's
why.
better than the movie. The book's better than the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
the
what if they
book
made the movie into 2 or 3 parts?
they could have. I wish they would have, and they should have,
Yeah.
because there's so much that you miss. And the book itself, man, there was so many hedonistic, crazy shit that happens in that book. I mean, it's got of course, all the band members write. It's got their manager, another dude that writes in there, and maybe some other guy. And it's got pictures there in the middle and looks pretty cool. But man, there's some scenes though. It pulls on your heartstrings a little bit, especially when Vince's daughter dies. He's writing about it. He talks about his daughter being like, I think she was like 8 years old, has like stomach cancer or some type of cancer. Excuse me. And yeah, that was sad, man. Reading that and just how they went from being up here in the 80s and then the 90s come, and you got these grunge guys coming up, and they're on their bottom. I mean, rock bottom.
It just didn't last.
No, I mean, you had, of course, Vince's daughter died. Tommy Lee goes to jail. Nikki goes in and out of being sober or not, and some other shit he's going on with, and then Mick's got the whole medical issues. So they really, in the 90s, they really hit rock bottom, and then they come back in the 2000s, and it's like, holy shit. They went away for about 15 years, but when they came back, and I think they were just about, I wouldn't say they were as popular, but they were in high school when I came back, and when they came back, and they came out with an album, thought it was pretty good, but yeah, man, it was a good book. If you haven't read it, I'll definitely read it.
I didn't know they came out with another album.
Yeah, it was Saints of Los Angeles. It was in 2008. It's pretty good. It's basically it's a soundtrack to the Dirt. That's all it really is.
What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a solid 7.5, 8. I mean, it's not it's not a great album. It's not Dr. Feelgood. It's not Girls, Girls, Girls or anything like that. But it's
compared to Hardwired to Self-Destruct. What would you say?
You talking about for Metallica?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Metallica with me, and you might agree with this, you may not. I honestly mean, Robert Trujillo sucks. Man, listen, let me say it real quick. He doesn't suck. He has talent. Okay, I understand that. I'm not saying that he sucks, What I'm saying is, ever since he's been in the band, and I understand he wasn't really there for Saint Anger. You can go ahead and pop a beer for this one because
I'm putting a Metallica shirt on now.
So, anyways, he's got talent, but man, I don't know if it's just maybe the music. I just don't like it. It's hard for me to like their music now. I mean, really, ever since Saint Anger, I think they've sucked. They've been overrated.
I ain't gonna say overrated, but like they have come out with a few songs that I like on like from Saint Anger. I like the intro and in Saint Anger, maybe All Within My Hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think on Death Magnetic, the ladies are going crazy now.
Oh my
Look at this big old gut I got. I grew that since I moved down here.
It's all them Sixers, man.
Hey, beer, chocolate, and fucking macaroni and cheese. I take.
Hey, man. So now with like I think it was Death Magnetic was the one that came out in 2008. So then you have Saint Anger. I'll be honest, and I know I might be in the minority in this, but man, their 90s shit was pretty good. I really did. I liked it.
People say they sold out with the Black Album, but because it was more, it wasn't pop metal, but it was easier to follow. Like Enter Sandman has one riff all the way through.
Yeah.
But blame them for that. I mean, if you
No.
put a fucking dollar bills in front of somebody's face, of course they're gonna go for it.
I mean, a lot of people, from what I've heard and what I've talked to people, is they're not necessarily upset about that. It's really the next album that came out after that. So imagine being a kid, and I think Jason Newsted said this in their Behind the Music. You take a kid, say you have a Metallica poster from the Black Album behind you, okay? 5 years later, they come back and they're wearing, they cut their hair, they're wearing Cuban pimp suits, smoking cigars on a Blood Semen cover. How would a kid react? I would be pissed. If I grew up with the Black Album and all those other Metallica albums in the 80s, which are fucking amazing, by the way, I would be fucking pissed. I would be upset, and I compare it. You can go look at other bands that have changed a little bit, but that was also by lead singers. Lead singers changed. There's nothing in that band that changed. I mean, Cliff Burton died doing Injustice for All. So they've had 2 albums with Jason Newsted, so it wasn't Jason Newsted that joined the band that changed it. They really kept it almost the same thing. But
yeah, James learned how to sing properly too to not fuck up his vocal cords. Like his singing style changed drastically, which, like, as a fan singing along, those later songs are a hell of a lot better to sing, easier to sing along with without like getting off key and shit like that. But the old music, Enter Sandman, fucking One, I didn't really fuck with Kill 'Em All a whole lot just because the sound quality. And like an audio engineer, just the way something sounds, whether it be these fucking monitors hitting my ears or a pair of monitor headphones, just the sonics of the sound is really important to how I view music. And it makes me a little bit biased. Like if some shit, like new rap, if it sounds too simple, the dude who's spitting could be saying the dopest shit ever, but if the music side of it and the engineering side and just the way the sound's hitting my head, if it sounds not as good as it probably could be, it just turns me right off to it.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about their first album, because it just sounds more of like a demo. Plus, it was a lot of cover songs from Diamond Head and shit like that, like Am I Evil? That's one of the biggest songs off that album, and it's a Diamond Head song. But I will say, when they do those songs live, it's fucking insane, dude. A Metallica concert, is almost like, it's like church times 100. Like, I've been to Wiz Khalifa. That was pretty good. He's one of the, at all the rappers I've been to, he puts on the best show. It's almost like a rock show. And as soon as I was in Morgantown, as soon as I walked into that Coliseum, like, I was scared the whole way there. I'm gonna get caught with these fucking 3 joints I got. And I had a Jufro at the time. So I just hid the fucking joints right in my hair. And I'm just thinking, I'm gonna get caught walking in this place. So I smoked them all on the way there. But as soon as I walked in the fucking concert, it is just the biggest cloud of fucking dank I've ever smelled in my life. Juicy J was there and all that. That was a really good show. I went to T.I. when I was younger, and it was when he went to Charleston, and Flo Rida was supposed to be there, but Flo Rida missed his plane or some shit. And everybody that bought their tickets from Ticketmaster or the Civic Center got their money, like half their money back from the Flo Rida not showing up, but I got mine from a scalper outside the fucking place, so I didn't get no money back. T.I. was all right, but you could tell he smokes a lot of weed, and he can't, like, where he raps, there's not a whole lot of breaths in between his bars. So he'd run out of breath a lot, and he was just doubling over the actual song, playing over all the speakers. It wasn't really him performing over an instrumental. But when I seen Metallica, whenever certain songs like James or Robert, whichever one starts going, hey, 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 the whole crowd interrupted. Every 180% of everybody says, hey, back to him. It was just, you are sitting there in a 2-hour bath of heavy metal hitting you in the face, bro. It is the greatest experience of a lifetime going to a Metallica concert.
Man, I'm going to have to, the first opportunity I do, that's another thing I wanted to ask you too, was, I'll ask you here in a minute, but to real quick before we do move on with Metallica, what would, what's your favorite albums from them? Was there any of the 90s that you would go with, minus the Black Album? Like like Load, Reload, Garage.
I like certain song, like the whole Unforgiven series is probably the reason I like this one best is probably because it's the easiest for me to sing. I like the Unforgiven 2, but I love the Unforgiven 3.
I like that one though. I did like that. I did like it.
But really, honestly, a lot of the Black Album, because here's a funny story. When my parents met, it was my dad worked at Graziano's. Have you ever ate Graziano's?
Yeah.
South Charleston or Capitol Street. There's one in Daytona. They was here before they was up there. It was right on the corner of Main Street. Like, here's the pier going out here. Here's the boardwalk. Graziano's is right there. My dad worked here. There was a bar, it used to be there, called the Pit Stop. That's where my mom worked at. And they met each other. And the reason that my dad got my mom's attention is because he was a little fucked up, but he was acting more drunk than he was, playing pool with his buddy, and they started playing the album, or the Black Album, on the jukebox, and that's how my dad got my mom's attention. So with certain logic, the reason that I exist is because the Black Album existed.
Oh, well.
That's what led to me happening somehow. It's insane to realize. And I remember one time my mom was telling me a story about how Metallica was playing in Daytona, and their tour bus ran out of gas or some shit, or broke down. They're at a gas station somewhere in Daytona, and she met them at the gas station, and they offered her backstage passes. But you know, to get backstage and, you know, hang with the band, you got to do certain things. If you didn't want to do that, what if Metallica was my dad?
I mean, we wouldn't be talking right now, more than likely. If that was the case, more than likely, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking. Who knows? I don't know. You probably wouldn't look the way you do now. I mean, you probably wouldn't be. It's probably a different person. Who knows? I mean, it's possible. Possible.
It all happens for a reason. I mean, it's probably better that Metallica isn't my dad. I probably shouldn't have grown up like in that world, having a rock star dad. I would have probably ended up a little shit.
Man, I was thinking with Metallica, and I was trying to think of the first song that I remember hearing from them. And I want to say it was something off the Black album. I could tell you the first Pink Floyd song I listened to. I could tell you a couple of the bands, but man, Metallica, I just do not remember the first Metallica song I ever listened to. I would say probably honestly Enter Sandman more than likely. It was
More
my
than
dad
like
had the Black album. It was probably that.
Pink Floyd too, though. Like I can't remember the first Pink Floyd song. Actually, I do. Okay, it was the first time I ever smoked weed. I was in sixth grade. I'm not gonna say who I was with, but they was two other sixth graders that got held back the year before.
Hmm.
It was in my gothic stage, and we roll a joint in a fucking crossword puzzle, and we watch The Wall, the video to it.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
I'm
so
watching,
you didn't watch the movie, you just watched the video to it, the music
no, I
video.
watched the movie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Whatever it was with like the animated, the fucking the walking hammer and shit like that.
Yep.
Kids through the
Great movie. It's a great
That's
movie.
my
I love
first
it.
experience getting high.
Hey, that's not a bad one.
It
That's
wasn't
not bad at
dude.
all. That's
That
not
was
bad.
I could not believe what I was watching. I didn't understand the hidden meaning behind it. I wasn't old enough to understand shit like that yet. And I think the next time I watched it after that was the first time I ever did LSD. I don't know if it was real shit, but it definitely I felt it a little bit. It wasn't quite as strong as the mushrooms I did before, but I was with my cousin. I was with the twins too. And I just remember sitting there watching this motherfucking video and just laughing my ass off at these weird cartoons chasing shapes and all that. Dude, it was wild.
man, Pink Floyd. Before we get off here, Pink Floyd, man, I love it. I wish I could saw them live. If you ask me, Michael, what is one band that you would want to see live? And the agreement to this is you could never see any other band live ever again. But you could see Pink Floyd live, and they could play their whole discography, play every single song, like all their hits. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, fuck it.
I'd pay $500 to see it and play all their hits, and I can never go to another concert ever again. I would do it. But it's something that I'll never get to see Pink Floyd live. I mean, you could probably go see David Gilmour or Roger Waters live, but it's not Pink Floyd. You know, you're never going to, because a couple of those guys are dead now. But I would have loved to have been a teenager in the '70s to be able to come
Fuck yeah.
up with, Dark Side of the Moon, Animals. Of course, I even have, where is it at here? Yeah, man. Animals, dude. If you ever get fucked up, listen to this shit. It's only five songs, and legit, dude. The album is basically about a guy dying of cancer, almost, in a way. Like it talks about one of the, I think it's dogs, because there's dogs. It's pigs on the wing, dogs, sheep, and pigs. All it talks about dogs, pigs, and sheep. And I was watching a Joey Diaz podcast, one of my biggest influences, and he said there's three types of people in this world. There's dogs, pigs, and sheep. And I thought about that, and I was like, holy shit. And just look up the lyrics to Dogs whenever you get a chance. But man, I love this band, and I wish I could have saw them live, but I'll never get to.
I don't know. I mean, they got those Tupac holograms. I guarantee eventually one day in our lifetimes we'll be able to see Jimi Hendrix live.
Fuck that. That's just trippy. That's just crazy.
It is. See, I thought whenever they did the Tupac thing, I thought they was just using pre-recorded shit from him, and then I heard him yell Coachella. And I realized they just found somebody that sounded almost exactly like him and added in little shit like that. But just think about it, eventually, like, he wasn't really a 3D rendering of Tupac. It was just a projection on a flat screen. But
Damn, that's
eventually
weird.
they'll be literally 3D projections of motherfuckers we never thought we could see.
That,
Like
that's,
the
I would
future's
say,
in the right place.
yeah, I think that's ultimately the way it's going, especially, and the way that for it to work, I don't think that, say, like Van Halen, for example, there's no way those dudes are going to roll out there with an Eddie Van Halen hologram. Now, what would have to happen is you would have to have everyone in the band dead before something like that would happen. Be like, okay, you could say in 50 years from now, because think about it, music is still pretty young. It's still young in terms of human history. It's a new thing. It really is. Honestly, let's be honest, anything pre 50s, it's not, there's no one really else out there that I can think of. Maybe because I didn't grow up around then, but until you got Elvis, Johnny Cash, all those guys in that era, Roy Orbison and all them. Yeah, there was no music. There was really no music, that people would remember today. Now, but you got these people that own basically like the kids, I guess, like Johnny Cash's kids, like they would have to say, hey, the estate would be like, okay, we're cool with that. You could have a hologram Johnny Cash. That ain't gonna happen. But I could see one day. Yeah, that would be sweet. That would be sweet, but I don't see it happening. I don't.
Getting the rights to show all these holographic superstars, that would be the biggest issue from their family is the money involved in that.
Oh God, they'd be one arm and a leg for it. I mean, you think now going to a Rolling Stones concert is fucking cheap? That shit's expensive. Imagine once they're dead.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to be paying probably $300-400. But the thing is,
and still performing, aren't they?
But here's the thing though too. Yeah, oh, they still are. Yeah, but here's the thing: is once they're dead, the people they listen to them are dead. Who's going to want to go see the Rolling Stones?
I don't know. I mean, do you like?
I mean, think about it though. Majority. I mean, you're still going to have people there. I would go. Hologram to me is kind of creepy. It's got a creepy vibe to it. But right now, probably with the Rolling Stones per se, a lot of baby boomers. That's their people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's another one I forgot to say was the Beatles. I completely. But hey, the Beatles to me, they're not my top 5. But in overall, yes, they are. But once their fans are all gone, who's going to want to go see a hologram Rolling Stones? Or Ozzy. I can see Ozzy doing. Now Sharon would post this motherfucker up after he died.
Oh yeah.
Fucking before he's buried.
I feel like that's almost the reason, like most people's solo career after they leave a band, besides Justin Timberlake, I mean, he kind of blew way the fuck up after NSYNC, but after they're in a band, their solo career isn't really too great. And I feel like Ozzy, he owes a lot of that shit to Sharon for, I don't know if she like kind of played the role of his manager and shit like that, but
Sharon kept this motherfucker alive.
Who don't know who he is?
Yeah. Nobody. I mean, Sharon kept this motherfucker alive. For real. If it wasn't for Sharon, this sucker would have died in the 80s probably.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Maybe even before. I don't know how the hell he isn't. But hey, I'm glad he isn't. But oh man, I could totally see that. Like, okay, so Ozzy dies a week later, Sharon digs him up, fucking puts his ass out on stage. Like,
oh yeah. Dude, think about the party. People thought that Michael Jackson's funeral was big.
Oh God.
Ozzy's funeral is gonna be fucking wild, bro. There's gonna be so many bands playing. It'll be the last. Like, I'm pretty sure Ozfest is over. I don't think they do that anymore. I could be wrong. But they'll probably bring it back just for that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. In our lifetime, at least in like from the 50s on, majority of these big, well-known bands like Paul McCartney's, of course John Lennon was murdered, a couple other things, but majority of these people are still around. They're still alive. Unfortunately we had Tom Petty pass away, Prince, all those guys, but it wasn't from old age. Those guys died from shit that shouldn't have happened, but
how do you feel about that?
About what? Which
Like,
one?
you think that when they died, it might have been because of somebody else's secret agenda?
Like you talking about like some Illuminati shit, like killing Michael Jackson, or
Yeah.
uh, I I was in a little Illuminati craze back in like 2012. Me and my buddies, we'd fucking smoke weed and watch these fucking Illuminati videos and talk about Michael Jackson. DMX was on there too, talking about the Illuminati coming to kill him, and someone was somebody was saying that Michael was saying, oh yeah, they're coming after me, they're trying to kill me, this and that. No, I don't think so. I think the thing is with Michael Jackson, the reason he died is the shit he was on. I'm pretty sure it's the same stuff that they put people for colonoscopies. Like you have to be monitored on that, and that's
Yeah.
why their doctor was there. Now I don't know what else he was taking, but I don't think it was some inside job that got Michael. I really don't. Um, Maybe that doctor didn't like him. I don't know. I don't know what that doctor's doing, but I don't see no inside job with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have. There's no evidence to it, and you'll never know it. You'll never know if there was.
Oh yeah, exactly like Tupac.
Yeah, I mean, Tupac, Biggie, Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain's another one. Kurt
Yeah.
Cobain is, and I started watching uh, the Bleach documentary,
Yeah.
and there's a couple other ones that I've watched, and I haven't got all the full details of it. Now, from what I was able to see from that, is I think I don't want to say Courtney Love did it. I don't think she physically did it. There's no
I
way.
think fucking did.
I don't think she physically did it. There's no way that she was there. I think she was actually on tour at the time, so the alibi stood up. If not, I think they would have went to trial for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Courtney Love physically did it. I don't think she physically pulled the trigger. Now, if she was a part of it, she either paid somebody or something like that. Because apparently Kurt Cobain was wanting a divorce. That's from what she was stating. She said that into the detective or the private investigator that she did hire, because he recorded everything, and just how she acted, how she talked, didn't make any sense to me. But I mean, he had so much heroin in his system, still had his shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't pull the trigger with his feet, had his shoes on. Had so much heroin in his system, apparently by medical people have said it's too much to even fire a gun.
Yeah.
Even though he did use a lot of heroin.
And it was a shotgun. Like, he
Yeah.
went
So,
pretty fucking far to pull this trigger.
yeah. I mean, even though he did have, but the thing is, those interviews towards the end, a lot of people say he was getting better. The stomach issue cleared up.
Yeah.
He had a daughter.
Yeah, he sounded like he was in a better frame of mind.
Yeah, especially that last year. But I don't know. That's I would definitely like to look more into that before I really kind of go more into it. But it's hard to say, man. It really is. That's one of the things you'll never know either. I mean, they're not gonna pick up Courtney Love tomorrow and charge her with murder. That's never gonna happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Never.
And that's one of the secrets. There's other conspiracies out there with any other figure, JFK,
Yeah.
him, this and that. But there's so many out there. And whenever you do come back on, what I'll do is I'll watch that documentary. I'll watch that Kurt Cobain shit, and we'll talk about that next time. Because I definitely do want to discuss that more. Because I feel like that would, man, I don't know. There's a little bit of me that thinks Courtney did it. Just a small percentage of me, 5 to 10%.
I'm about it.
But hey, it could have been somebody just broke in the house. You never know. You really never know. You really never know.
A fucking fan or something like that.
Could have been. I mean, it could have been a drug dealer. It's hard to say. It really is. I mean, but yeah, man. I think that's about. What are we at now? Oh man, we're almost at 2 hours. I think you. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure this is This
8 beers.
is what's up.
8 beers deep, about to piss my pants.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, that's yeah, man, that is definitely the longest
Oh yeah.
by at least almost about 17 minutes. I think the
Hell,
longest before was like an hour and 35 minutes or something like that.
hell
So,
yeah.
congratulations. You lasted 2 hours with me.
Oh, don't make it sound dirty.
Nah, but yeah, man, I do appreciate you coming on. Stay on though once we hang up here. Once I finish the recording and everything, we'll go over a couple other things.
Hell yeah.